In this Sean Speaks episode, I get to speak to you from my heart about an important part of parenting, family life, and a parent's mental health and mindset. I want to help you thrive in how you speak to your kids and how you speak to yourself. Sean Speaks is a live teaching I did with a Zoom room filled with my VIP members. It's interactive, it's spontaneous, it's raw and unedited. If you'd like to go deeper with me, visit my website.
There are a lot of important reasons of why we get married to somebody. We want to share our lives with them. We want to be seen. We want to be known. We want to make memories. We want to commit. There's a lot of reasons why we bring children into this world, or we adopt the children and bring a child into our home. We want to share that love, that mentorship. We want to teach this young child good things, wise things. We want to see how our personality and our character, kind of positively rubs off of them. I mean, this is like the purpose of life, if you ask me, is just relationships and being deep with people and being loved and loving others. I believe that is the purpose of even why we're here. But because these relationships bring us so much meaning and joy and purpose, they also have the ability to really hurt us and divide us and to make things really, really stressful. As you and I both know, when you're struggling with your spouse or your romantic partner, you're arguing, oh my gosh, it just hurts. It's so painful. And when you have these challenging problems come up in parenting, it can be so painful, so confusing, because it's like there's so much passion involved and there's two different cultures coming. There's your culture and how you were raised and what you think is right and how they were raised and what you think is right. So I'm going to do something I've never done before. I've never done this in 10 plus years I've been teaching. I'm going to share a short teaching with you all about 25 ways to get your spouse involved in co-parenting with you, in positive parenting with you, or parenting in the type of things that I teach and coach. Now, the reason why I'm asking is because I actually had somebody ask me, can you give me some tips on how to get my husband involved? And I realized that I've been giving people these tips for a very long time, and I just want to do something really formal about it in a really quick amount of time. Now, some of you, this doesn't necessarily always apply to you because you feel like you have a great thing going on in your home. You have like this harmony, with your co-parent. You guys see super similar when it comes to parenting, and I'm so happy for you. But before you disregard what I'm about to say, let me invite you to really open up your eyes and open up your ears and listen for a second. Okay. Well, you're about to hear from me. I'm going to talk really fast. I'm going to share 25 ideas to deepen the co-parenting bond with your spouse and to invite and woo your spouse into more harmony. And what I'm going to share is, as I looked at this list that I made for you, I just think these are leadership skills. These are just leadership skills. Because if you're listening to this right now, there is a chance that maybe you are the leader of the home when it comes to parenting or setting the tone of how you would like the children to be parented. Now, that's great. Whether you're the husband or the wife, it doesn't matter who you are. But so as you being the leader and me kind of being a teacher, it's like, this is kind of what I do in these calls. Like, I'm teaching the teachers. So I want, you are the most powerful person in your kid's life. You are potentially the most powerful person in your home. If you have an equal spouse or co-parent. So let me empower you in your power. Now, as you hear these things, you're going to hear that some of these are really ways to really reach your spouse's head and to reach their intellectuality, their wisdom, their logic, and some are to reach their heart. Now, your co-parent better than anyone. So you can pick and choose the ones you want. And this is being recorded. So if anyone wants to come back and even listen to this or hear it again, please do so. And at the end of this 25 list I'm going to share really, really quickly with you, I'd love to hear from you. Tell me your thoughts on, did you like any of these? Have you had any success in kind of, leading your co-parent into kind of where you want to go? Like, I remember for me, 17 years ago, my wife said, hey, I heard about this great parenting book and I want you to read it. I think she had started reading it too, and she was like, "This is really good." And that was like 17 years ago, and now here we are today. And I have I have a parent coaching business and parent coaching social media and a podcast. It's just nuts. All right, so here we go. 25. Number one is ask boldly. Now, starting off really obvious, some people do not do that because you struggle with conflict, you struggle with people pleasing. So how do you get your spouse involved? You've got to be bold and say, look, this is really, really important to me. I want you to do this. You might even say, I don't even ask you for that much. But this is something I really, really want. Idea number two is you can use a business parallel. Now, if your spouse has a business or into business, which they probably do because they work, you might want to say like this, hey, just like you kind of go and you get skills in your job. You maybe go to a conference or you read books or you get professional training. Like this is like what I am doing here. I'm getting professional training on something that is my job as a parent or to be a mom or to be a dad. And like we all need skills and tools for our job. And this is like the most important job that we have is being the best parents. So doesn't that make sense? Let's go get training, let's skills. Idea three is you can use an investment parallel. We all kind of invest things. We buy things, whether we're buying things, Christmas time or that. So when you are working on your parenting, you are definitely making an investment of time, and it could be money as well. And so just seeing like, look, this is an investment. This is really important for our family. We make investments all the time. So please make this investment and let's do this together. Idea three is, when you are dating somebody, you understand that they might have a similar or different religion to you or similar or different politics, right? And so you definitely chose your spouse because you either had to really align on religion, politics, and these hot button topics, or at least you have like an honor and a respect for each other. And so just like what happens with kids though is that you don't know your parents, you don't know your co-parents' parenting skills when you're dating potentially because you don't have kids potentially, just depending on if you're like right back in the early days when we were all young pre-kids. And so here's some good news is that there is a way for you to say, look, I will honor you in your parenting. I will honor you. I will respect you. But I ask you to please honor me. And this is how I really have now chosen that I want to parent our kids. So, honey, we can do this. I know it's hard for us because, we have politics in common. We have religion in common. We have so many things in common, but we don't have this in common. So this is why it's hard for us because it's new, because this is like such a big part of our lives, but we can do this. We have to honor. John Gottman's research revealed that about 2/3 of relationship problems are unsolvable. Now, when you read this, it's kind of doom and gloom. 2/3, what the heck? That sounds like a lot, but just take that with a grain of salt. Gottman tells us that there's solvable problems and there's solvable problems, and then there's a term that he uses, which is called perpetual problems. And so when you think solvable, things like, look, yeah, like you and your co-parent are probably never going to be 100% aligned on parenting. I don't have 100% alignment with my wife on parenting, and we have to work together. Like she does some things that I don't like. She says some things that I don't like. Sometimes I say things and do things that she doesn't like, but we honor each other, we respect each other. And so idea number 5 is you could actually talk about this with your co-parent and say, is this a perpetual problem or is this a solvable problem? And have a date night over it and even talk about it, because some people have never even slowed down to talk. And you might even be surprised by what your spouse or your co-parent says. They might even say, you know what? I feel like this is a solvable problem. Now that you frame it this way, let me think about that. Idea number 6 is use the word teamwork. Teamwork. I want to have teamwork with you. Let's not let this divide us. Sometimes when you use teamwork language, it kind of opens up spouses' ears and eyeballs. Like, oh my gosh, this is an opportunity to be teamwork. If you're just joining on with me now, welcome. I'm sharing 25 ideas to get your spouse involved in your co-parenting and in positive parenting, or what we're doing here. And what this really is, these are just leadership skills. Because if you're listening to this, it means that you are probably this is something that you're passionate about and you're kind of in a leadership role in this area. Here's the next idea for you. Idea number 7 is really about empathy. Have empathy for them and just say, you know what? I can see why you want to parent our kids that way. That makes sense. Validate them. Yeah. I mean, that must be hard for you when you feel like maybe I'm doing it this way. And you feel like maybe I'm being too soft on the kids. Yeah, I do, honey. I feel like this. I feel like it doesn't matter. It doesn't make sense to me. Yeah. And I can see that's probably hard for you. Yeah. And now invite them to have empathy for you, right? It's kind of hard for me too, right? It's like this language of sharing together. It's like this same thing you see me even how we talk to our kids about. It's about sharing your hearts together. Number 8, I'm a big fan of. There's a few of these that I'm a big fan of is you going back and sharing with your spouse or co-parent, hey, can I share with you something I'm learning? So instead of you just trying to pull them to something, instead you do the work yourself. You own this. And then you just bring it to them in a positive, chill, cool, inviting way. Like, hey, can I share with you something I'm learning? So you're kind of honoring their boundaries, but not forcing your teaching upon them, but you're just celebrating how you're growing. I always tell people, even on like the short consult calls I have with people, when they ask me, how do I get my co-parent involved? And I said, look, there's a lot of ways you can get them involved in changing or aligning with you in parenting. But the number one thing is definitely you just do the work. You change. You cannot change your spouse, but you can change yourself. You do the work. Don't be codependent. You become healthy. You have positive breakthroughs. You do this work. And then everyone in your family is going to notice. And they're going to look at you and say, what are you doing over there? That looks good. That looks tasty. That looks inviting. Idea number 9 is people love to listen to dreams. So when you talk about what we're doing here, consider this as an idea. Talk about it like it's a dream. Share a dream. Like this would be a dream come true for us to be more aligned on parenting. Help them see that actually they have power to help your dreams come true. Right. And if some of you are, if I'm starting to lose some of you because like you already have alignment with your co-parent, think about this, that some of these tools, you can actually use these with your children as well, with your teenagers as well. Like I just kind of remembered something that I've had numerous family meetings when I'm sitting there with my 3 kids and we have problems to solve. They are painful problems, whether it be sibling issues or acting out or meanness. And I've shared my dreams with my kids. I said, girls, this is like a dream for me, like having kids, like being a dad, having family meetings, like you're my dream come true. But the dream that I envision and what I want for us is that I would have kids who love each other, who care about each other, who don't steal each other's hangers and who steal their phone chargers and fight over it constantly. Like, that's not my dream. So I want to be a type of parent that helps your dreams come true. But I'm asking you, can you help my dream come true? By being good to each other, by loving each other. Can see that's not manipulating anybody, by just opening my heart and helping my family see what my dreams are. And then partly why you're here listening to me right now is because this is a part of your dream and you're living it out. You're chasing your dream right now. You dreamed of having an amazing, healthy family and being a great parent, and good for freaking you. You're doing something about it. So let's go. You know what? Here's number 10. Can we try something new? And so just say, this is new. Now, this isn't new. What we teach here is not new at all. This has been around for generations and hundreds, thousands of years, the type of teaching I do. But sometimes that's very inviting. Idea number 11 is set up a formal meeting. Hey, can we maybe have a date night tonight? I want to talk to you about some things that are on my heart with parenting and ideas. What do you mean? What's on your heart? What are you talking about? Can we just talk now? No, I really think we can maybe get away. Maybe we can go to maybe we can even do a road trip and talk about it, or a date night, or just have some alone time, go on the walk, around the lake together. This is really bringing some formality or some intensity like that can be very helpful. Number 12 is, hey, can I share some tips with you? Can I share some tips with you? Now, that's kind of a shaky idea because some spouses, they don't want tips, but then by asking them, when something comes up, can I share you some things that I'm learning with you? So this is a big difference from the idea before, which is like you're celebrating what you're learning versus, hey, this is like in the heat of the moment or right afterwards or the next day. Idea number 13 is something I'm really, really into. You can ask them, hey, can we just try this for 3 months? Can we try something for 6 months? Just please try some new things with me, honey. 6 months. And if you hate it and if it doesn't work, then yeah, we can talk. about not doing things like this anymore. Number 14 is a big fan of number 14, big fan of making deals, because we actually already make deals with everybody all the time, constantly, is make a deal with them. Ask for a time period. Like, and if this works, then we'll do this. Like, what do I mean by making a deal? It's like, here's like this. Hey, let's make a deal. How about this? You give me 3 months of you doing some work with me around parenting, and in exchange, you get to pick our next vacation. Or, okay, I know you've been really wanting that motorcycle. Let's make a deal. Let's invest in that motorcycle, and in return, can you really let me take the lead with parenting and start learning from me, and let me teach you the things that I'm learning? It could sound like this. Hey, and because we're already making deals all the time. Who does the dishes? Who vacuums? How do we spend money? How do we do these things? I know you've really wanted, those golf clubs. So I know you've been asking, but I found something that I really want. Or, take this with a grain of salt. I'm not trying to be weird when I say this. Some people really like sex. And so you can make a deal around sex. Hey, I will do better at having sex with you or making love, because that's something that you feel loved, you feel connected, you feel pleasure in that. But this is something that I feel pleasure in, is sharing in this with me. It's like you feel close with me when we're doing this or we're doing that or doing this. But this is some way that I feel close with you, is teaming up in parenting. And as we come to the last few ones, is this one's really, really big. Is sometimes the best way to get somebody to lead somebody is by saying, you know what, I accept you. I accept you. I accept that you love our kids. I know that you have wisdom. Your parenting ways have wisdom. I'm not better than you. My ways are not better. I'm not super comfortable with some of the things that you do. You know that. But I want you to know I believe in you. I honor you. I accept you. This is hard for me, and I want you to know that. But I've decided I want you to know I accept you. I'm not trying to change you. When you actually tell that to somebody, then they feel honored. They feel like their boundaries are being honored. And they actually might then follow your lead when they know you're really not trying to always change them. Number 19 is a really shaky idea. Don't do this. It probably won't work. But you might want to, if you have a close friend, like a mutual friend, or like, a brother or a sister, maybe talk to them, say, can you talk to my person? And just help them see that this is a big deal. That's super shady, because you could be triangulating, or a psychological tactic, which is called gathering the horses, where like everyone knows this, everyone thinks you're a bad parent, everyone's thinking about it, ask anybody. Or it could be like this, family gossip type vibe. So don't do that unless you really have thought that through. Here's the next idea, is you could dip your toe. Say, dip your toe. Can you just come and just maybe read this material? I'm not asking you to change it. Just read this article when I ask. Or can you just maybe come to listen to Sean talk about here and there? Just give it a chance. Idea number 21 has to do with priorities. Everybody has priorities, and everybody actually gets what they really want. So if someone says, I'm really busy with work. I'm really busy. You say, look, I know you're really busy with these things, and those are good things. But I'm asking you, can you please change your priorities? What do you mean I can't? I have to make money. I have to work. I got to go. I got to go to the gym. I got to do this. I got all these other things. And those are good things. But see, those are your top priorities. And I'm just asking, can we please move this into yours? See, this is just leadership skills. Help people break out of their minds and have more open minds to the things that are really, really important to you. And the last few, here's another. These last two are very, very, very shaky. These are very loaded guns. You do not want to do these without really thinking them through with a lot of intention. You could say this to your co-parent. And if those of you are just coming on listening now, welcome. We're sharing 25 ideas to get your spouse involved in your co-parenting or in your positive parenting movement. And so you could say, look, like if you as a parent are already in a win-lose dynamic with your spouse or co-parent, like it's a win-lose, you're losing. Here's a loaded gun and a very sharp sword. You got to be very careful with what I'm about to say. Then you could say, look, I'm asking you to please work with me with this. I feel like this is a win-lose. I feel like I'm losing. And so I don't want to stop doing these things in this routine that we have going on, but I'm at that point where I'm thinking about it now. I'm thinking about stopping some of these things that I normally do, because I'm so passionate about our kids and about having a healthy home. So the word is threaten. It's a strong word, but that is what it is. I could give you a more colorful or softer word, but you'd be warning them, threatening. I'm about to make a change here. I'm about to stop. So the next idea, 23, is that some of my members that are here now, they're here because their spouse actually has threatened to leave them if they do not change their parenting. And the reason why they're here and they're listening to this recording or here live is because they're in shock, because their spouse has now given them this ultimatum, and they got their spouse or their co-parent got their attention. Now, again, I'm not advising you to do this. I'm just giving you some ideas. And here's our last two ideas. Idea 24 is, when in leadership, the word patient is very helpful. So you might share with them, you know what? I'm being very patient with you. It's hard for me though. And you just keep bringing that up. I'm patient with you. I love you. I care about you. I honor you. I wish that we had more, unity on how to parent the kids, but I'm patient. And when people hear that word, it's a very powerful word, especially in leadership. It helps people to feel honored and loved and connected. And it kind of sometimes woos them into change, because they know, like, wow, this person really cares about me and respects me, that they're really not forcing me. And they're reminding me of how patient they are with me. Now, there's a time and a place to lose patience. I've had many women that I've worked with for over a decade now, and their husband's parenting is so unhealthy. It's so bad. It's so toxic. It's so abusive that I've actually had to give these tools to some of these women, saying, look, this is super scary for me, but I'm not telling you to do this, but this is what you might consider doing. Saying, look, I'm at this point, and I'm really been begging you. I've been asking you, please work with me on parenting the kids. It's really affecting me and my mental health. It's affecting our love. And I'm at this point now where I'm thinking about, doing something bigger if we can't align on parenting, because our kids are worth it, guys. And the last idea should not come to any surprise of you that are here with me live or listening, is have a heart talk with them. Heart talks. Does that make sense? Help them see that how they parent with you, how they align, how they treat the kids, how they handle their buttons, their reactions, their desires, their parenting, how they handle their anger and their screens. That helps you to feel loved. That helps you to feel connected. It helps you to feel seen and wanted and peaceful. If you look at your words that you wrote down from question number 3 on your desires, what are your desires in parenting? It helps you see your desires are being met when you have alignment with co-parenting. And when you don't, it feels hurt. You feel connected. You feel, disconnected. You feel alone. You feel scared. You feel confused. And so, yes, parenting is such an ability to unite us and divide us. It has such an ability to bring people in love and connection and harmony, like maybe not many other things. This sacred joy of having a family and sharing it as leaders with another person, or having a child with another person and co-parenting that child in health. It's such an amazing thing. And I'm so happy that we have this gift of our children in our lives. And my best to you, my heart is going out to you, that you would use these tools for good and not for evil that I shared.
Parents, thank you for letting me be a positive voice in your life. I love you and I love your family. If you're sick and tired of those same painful patterns in your parenting, or the same painful bad behaviors in your kids, then what are you waiting for? Join me in my VIP membership. I'd love to speak with you and give you the specific tools that you need.